The Warriors Life Podcast 2025, Episode 5, brought to you by King's Container Crew, the best container crew outfit in the land. Throughout Australia and New Zealand, head to kingscontainercrew.com to avail yourself of their services. If you want to join the King's Container Crew team, hit the Work With Us tab and apply your little heart out. You might be lucky enough to get a spot in their squad. Thank you to Kings. Brad, great to see you, mate. How are you?
Afternoon, Will. I'm good. I'm real good. You know what
Good,
happened to me? I'm just going to jump straight in. Here's a good yarn. I've been biting my lip. I was going to ring you straight away, but I've stepped up to the hockey again lately. You play much darts, mate?
Oh, very rarely. Not as much as I'd like to, mate.
Well, the neighbour got a dartboard, and I went down there the other day, had a throw. I was like, oh yeah, and then Teddy sort of got the bug over the weekend, so we've been throwing a few. This morning, while me and Trace are in the shed here doing a bit of pricing, smashed two 180s out in the space of 5 minutes. Ding,
You're
dang,
kidding.
do, thank you. Verified, photos taken. Yeah, just back. I'm quite the talent, to be honest. Quite the talent,
mate.
natural. Yeah,
You're going to have to start videoing your sessions so we can splice them into these episodes.
Is it okay once I do make the PDC if I use our This Warriors Life intro tune as dun, 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 and just stomp up to the stage? Here comes Brad Attitude. Yeah, sweet. I actually got a dart shirt made up once, and on the back of it's got Brad Attitude larking. Yeah. So
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, no, I was fizzed. Mate. Absolutely fizzed. What have you been doing, man? Shit, it's hot.
Yeah, I know. The summer's finally arrived in the South Island. Bit of a long tail on it.
I'm leaking, man.
Sweating it out too.
Yep.
Huddled up in the studio here, and I'm baking, mate.
Oh, just off camera. 1.5 meters that way is a big steel tin door just absorbing heat and radiating it towards the left-hand side of my face. If I pass out, just vamp a bit. I'll come good. Yeah, just vamp until I pop back up.
I've got Trace on speed dial, so I can come and tell her to poke you with a broom handle or something. Welcome to anyone that's listening on Spotify or wherever you listen to your pods, audio-wise, or if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. On that note, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel and on Spotify, etc. It's the least you can do to help us out, really. Well, the least you can do is absolutely nothing, but how about going us one better and giving us a follow on one of those platforms, or all of them, preferably. Hey, Brad.
Yeah, why not? I have actually started following us too, so there's another one.
Well, if you can do it, then anyone can do it.
Exactly, it's foolproof.
A little bit more admin to get out of the way before I fill you in on what I've been up to, Brad.
Sure thing.
Yeah, you might notice if you're watching this on YouTube, the little logo down underneath me there. Proud to announce that TAB will be a partnering sponsor with This Warriors Life this year. So go to tab.co.nz for all your Warriors, NRL, or other sports-related bets. Gamble responsibly, particularly if you're taking our advice on a multi.
Yeah, good to be getting something back from them for a chat. Geez, they've got enough off me over the years. It's good to finally get a little bit back. Welcome aboard the TAB.
And after you must be pretty happy, Brad, with the response to your little promo appearance that you cut for us last week. People were raving about it, demanding more. And another offshoot of that, people just clamoring for This Warriors Life merchandise.
Oh, nice!
You wear it so well. You wear it so well, Brad. It's I have finally got my A&G and set up the Warriors merch store. thiswarriorslife.digitees.co.nz. Put the link in the show notes. So there's a few basic designs up there, like the one you saw Brad wearing, like the other one, the simple emblem design that you see me wearing on the podcast usually. So yeah, get amongst it. It's all ready to go. They'll make them up for you, post it out, choose your color, follow the instructions, and away you go.
Do you reckon we'll be able to sell all? Do you reckon we'll be able to sell all 8 of them?
All 8 of them, yeah. I mean, by the end of the season, hopefully. That's the aim.
Sweet. I want to be trying to offload the last 2 come bloody October.
Yeah, absolutely.
And good stuff, Will. Good stuff. People have been asking.
Yeah. So quality AS color So he's just going with the staple at the moment.
Did you go staple?
If you really want another sort of version of the AS Color t-shirts, let me know and I'll see what I can rig up. Well, our viewers won't know because they can't see him on the video podcast, but Brad, you'll be able to tell everyone that Fonz prefers a deep V with his t-shirt, so we can show off that chest here. So looking forward to putting some of those together for Fonz. What else have we got, Brad? Any other admin before we rip into?
Admin, I'm usually pretty light on admin. You're the one that's abroad. That no.
Abroad is it? Have you been just making up words, or have you been checking out your
abroad? That is that. Does that work? It doesn't work, does it? What is it called? Across that. You're across that.
Across or abreast.
Abreast.
Across abreast. I think you just yeah.
Don't start picking out every folly I make, because geez, it'll be a long show. We wouldn't talk about the Warriors because we're just talking about how dyslexic I am. Yeah. Oh wow.
Before we get into the trial, Brad, I was a bit out of sorts at the end of last week. It's not the first time I've discussed this on the podcast, but I had a bad handshake during the week.
Oh no, not another one.
Yeah. So it was a work-related meeting. I was meeting someone for the first time, got introduced to them, and we just got our ring finger and little fingers all tangled up. It was a fucking mess.
How does that happen though? I don't understand the logistics of getting you. So was it your pinky or your ring finger?
It was my ring finger and pinky, but because that. I'm sure. Yeah, it was his too, and got tangled up. It was none of us acknowledged it.
Oh, no, didn't you?
I couldn't. No, it was first time meeting. If it was someone I knew, would have to start again, make light of it, but just wasn't the right setting to, to make a joke of it, and it was pretty awkward. And I was rattled for the meeting, rattled for the rest of the week, to be honest. But it did remind me of one of my favorite actually, Seinfeld stand-up pieces, and just by chance flicked on an episode to calm myself down, and it just happened to be this one. So I'm going to play the clip here for you. Hopefully this comes through. Enjoy.
No worries.
I really feel as human beings, we need more training in our basic social skills. Conversational distance. Don't you hate these people that talk to you? They talk into your mouth like you're a clown at a drive-thru. And handshakes is the worst. There's absolutely no guidelines for handshakes. You know, people are too strong, too weak. Sometimes they give you the three-quarter handshake, just the fingers. Early release, late release. Sometimes people will dispute your release. You've let go, they're hanging on. I have actually said to people, hey, the handshake is over. Too many pumps, coming in too high, too sweaty from too far away. Sometimes a guy will give you a strong grip, late release, and pull you in for the too close conversation. To him, I say, that's 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah, he sums it up well, Jerry. The three-quarter one is pet peeve of mine.
Just three-quarter. I hate the over enthusiastic grip. Just the absolutely bearing down on you. Like it's firm and not a clamp. That one breaks me. I witnessed a mate of mine, Jolza, once. He was literally telling us about a previous a poor handshake earlier in the day. Group of us around a bar, Lena, at a pub, telling us about this horrible handshake that he went through, and we're already in tears laughing at that. And just at that time, another guy come up, said goodbye to all of us, and then Jolza goes straight in for a handshake again. And he went to do the handshake, and then you pull in and give it a little shoulder bump. You know that one? Little shot. For some reason, these two went the same way, and they were standing looking at all of us on this bar, Lena, standing cheek to cheek instead of bumping shoulder. They were standing there cheek to cheek, face to face, staring at us awkwardly. And then he left, and Joel's he'll never live that down. Talking to a mate in the weekend, he got clamped at a gala on Friday night, absolutely clamped, and wouldn't let go, and done the up-down shake while clamping.
Oh, like actually, oh man, give your shoulder,
crushing his hand, and
put your shoulder out.
This guy I was with, he used to be a hooker for the Otago Highlanders, so he must have a decent shake. So this old boy must have really got him hard. He was rattled, poor old Jace. But yeah, now the handshake, I always reset. I don't care if it is a first meeting. If I'm not getting it right, that's not the impression I want them to take away from me. I shut down play. I think I've spoken to that before on the pod previously, but yeah, I shut it down and reset. You can't have people thinking that about you.
Yeah, I really should have. If I'd been more onto it, I would have. It was unexpected. It always takes you by surprise.
Nah.
And
You got to pull them up.
Tried to move on.
Got to pull them up. Well, yeah.
Moving on, Brad. So it's been 10 minutes and we haven't talked about the Warriors once. That might be a new record.
Yeah,
but we do have some more pre-season action to talk about, and pretty exciting, wasn't it? Good first half. 36-10 over the Storm. It was 36-0 at halftime. 7 unanswered tries in that first half, and then kind of got a bit scrappy after the break once we pulled our top liners off. But overall, what were your impressions?
I really enjoyed that first half. I know everyone, and rightly so, that was a pretty dog shit Melbourne team we were up against. There was a few in there, but they were pretty hopeless. But we done what we should have done to them. We bullied them off the field. We showed that our players on the field were that much better than as they should have. And people are saying, "Oh, you can't get too excited about that," but you should, because if they didn't play well against that shit team, we would have been allowed to be angry with them for being shit. So why aren't we allowed to be happy for them being good? That was a great first half of footy. Like yourself, I did tap out a little bit in that second half, like most of the trial games. It gets a bit messy. People are out of position. It's clunky. It's more like a game of touch out there in those second halves. But yeah, a lot to like. A lot. It was just polished. You'd like to think Webby would like. That's Harry wants to play 80 minutes every round of the season. That they were playing to a plan. How good were those outside the couple of wingers?
Yeah, overall,
you bring up a good point about Tane on that wing. Actually, just getting out jumped, he will become a bit of a target, won't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'd again much prefer to have him on that right wing than Cossey. You pick the superior player if they're at all suited to the wing. And but that was, really is in the trial last week, but that's his only sort of senior game time on the wing, Tuapiki. So there's bound to be some teething problems. But yeah, a couple of great finishes as he did last week against the Sharks, and plenty of meters. I think he's got that spot sewn up for round one.
I think so. And Ed didn't do himself any favor. Ed got turned around and beaten on the outside once in that second half too. And geez, he's like the Earnslaw on Lake Wakatipu, the amount of time it takes to turn him around. Jeez whiz. So yeah, he's got a couple of flaws. He's a monster in New South Wales Cup. He just smash it, but he just hasn't quite found what he needs to do in that, or he's been found out in that next level almost. Geez, old Wishart had a diabolical first half, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a huge fan of him. I would love to get him on our books, probably prefer him to any of the halves we've got. But yeah, without a class outfit around him, he really struggled. And
he did.
Not a happy day at all.
Turned to shit. Penis fingers.
Yeah. But yeah, just running through some of the lineup there again. We mentioned Leotawa, 2 tries, 2 try assists, 7 tackle breaks. Man, to me, I mean, we're looking like getting our best sort of homegrown all-round centre since Clinton Torpey, in my opinion. If
he can stay on the
just
field.
so destructive, such a natural, can create something out of nothing, but do all the silky little things well as well. So yeah, number 1 centre for me.
Yeah, he just the way he backed himself for that second try, just to know that they ain't stopping me.
Yeah,
that first tackle was weak, but he just backed himself, and you wonder that it's something probably a Pompey wouldn't have done in that situation.
You mentioned Tomato Martin, and sort of Fons touched on it in our podcast last week that Martin at 5'8", it just seems to struggle if he doesn't have his hands on the ball all the time. At fullback, where he's sort of, you have to be there, you have to run those lines, and he looked great. If he could sort of transfer that sort of play, that sort of form to 5'8", I'd be more than happy to have him there. But that's the rub, I suppose.
Yeah, and referring to Fons again from that, he mentioned that's where he sort of struck his form back for the Broncos, wasn't it? In that fullback position before he came over here. So yeah, I think he's a great deputy at that second choice fullback. I like that. I'd like to see Tane just do an apprenticeship on a wing for a season, not chop and change him around if he can stay on the field. Dallin's out for a long time, isn't he? Is he
could be out for 12 weeks. So
12 weeks for a wrist? What do you do? Break it off?
But broken and dislocated. So he didn't miss.
No.
So yeah, should get a form pending topic. He should get a good run there. There is very few candidates. It's sort of Cossey, maybe Milo. Graham Tulfo's played plenty of wing in New South Wales Cup, and then moving one of your other centres out there. It sort of looks like Pompey's got one centre spot wrapped up purely because of depth as well. So Tane's there for a fair amount of time if he stays fit and stays in half decent form.
That sort of leads into it's come out they've been taught they had really looked for a winger over the break, didn't they? They had identified and tried to talk a few people. One high profile player they mentioned, but they didn't mention a name. Do you reckon that's Ado Carr?
Well, I don't know. He doesn't seem the right fit for it. It seems like a weird purchase for the Warriors personality wise, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But he was available. There wasn't too many that were sort of looking to move on or anything, or have subsequently moved anywhere else. But yeah, I'd love to know who that was. And I still think we could definitely do with an outside back if one pops up, or we can lure one over here mid-season, because we're one injury away from having some pretty unsuited players there. Even chucking Capewell into a centre spot or something like that to start. Even you mentioned Tamati maybe being a genuine fullback option. I'm still a little bit hesitant of how safe he would be at the back.
I'm just saying when Chance isn't there. In there, and if Tane's getting a few games on a wing, I don't know. But Martin didn't look out of place back there at all.
Some people pushing for even Martin at fullback and Chance to the other centre spot.
Are they?
While we're a bit short, but we'll see what happens there. Metcalf, great follow up, I thought, to a solid performance against Cronulla. Is totally in control against the Storm. Again, a poor Storm outfit, but he did everything he wanted. Just playing really direct, really crisp combination out there on the right with Martin and Leotawa. Kicking game solid. Didn't really have to kick from deep too often, but when he did, picked off a 40-20. So good signs there. And
Chanel looked more comfortable being that partner option there. He seemed to realise that he was doing something different, doing his own thing over the other side. I thought Chanel was quite good for the little bits he needed to do. Metcalf was running the show, but then Chanel just showed something slightly different. He having a dig, or whether he's digging into the line. Yeah, I like them. I like that combo.
Yeah, I thought Chanel is probably a better balance. Chanel is quite comfortable with just picking his moments, and he did it beautifully. A couple of try involvements and the solo try himself. And he did a bit of the kicking as well. He's got a longer kick than Tamati. Hopefully that's the way it runs out for Vegas. I know it's Fonz's preference, but we'll see if Martin's still ahead of him in the queue there. Quick little wrap for Eddie Itinerary, 2 try involvements. Didn't get to see him in open space too much, but for a young guy that's plays a fair bit of second row and prop in New South Wales Cup, I thought he was really good.
Does he? Second round prop?
That's probably where he's sort of headed.
No doubt of it.
Second row,
shit.
So he has played a bit of centre in New South Wales Cup too, but it was probably more of a depth reason than anything that he got the start there on the weekend. Looking at the pack again, another solid showing from Bunty, who on the evidence of the trials, you'd think he's got a spot in the 17 for Vegas.
Yeah. That's a good judge of that bloke's character, isn't it? The way he's picked himself up.
Yeah, it'd be a great comeback story if he ends up forging a regular spot in the 17. He looked done.
Yeah, and he's good on Bunty.
Jackson Ford, decent, good stats, but nothing. I think he's probably more in that depth part of the equation. When all the forwards are fit. Dimitri Vaimonga, another really solid performance. I mean, geez, he's going places, this guy, and I think permanent member of the 17. Great on both sides of the ball. Aaron Clark again. They couldn't stop wrapping him in the first half, but easy to see why. 113 runs, 134 meters. Did he even play in the second half? That was just
I think I don't know.
It
definitely went off about 5 minutes before. He is our epitome of a warrior out there again now. Hadn't he just filled in what Jazz left, or that absolute workhorse, what you think of as the word warrior? He is a warrior out there on the field. Yeah. Wow. I wasn't even that warm on the dude signing wise, but pretty happy he's in a Warriors jumper now.
Thought Nukore was better than we've seen for some time, and Halasima, only a couple of touches in attack, but geez, that run, just scattering defenders had me at half mast. I'd love to get him into the 17 somehow.
I seen that run and I felt it moving my shorts when he started knocking over a couple of people there, mate. I tell you, that is so good to have on the books, isn't it? Just an absolute freak tackle breaker. It's something we've been missing for a long time. Just someone that can tear someone apart. Him and Leotawa. Wow.
Yeah. Man, getting what you sort of get from the likes of Olakawatu kicked out. Whereas, with the Nukore Capewell combination, we probably don't have that kind of destructive edge forward anymore. Nukore would probably hope him to be that, but hasn't probably quite been, certainly not last year.
Because you get jealous watching other teams go around and having that player out there. You're like, oh, fuck, why haven't we got one of them?
Well, you look at it last year, like all the contenders, Roosters had Angus Crichton, Katoa at the Storm obviously stings a bit. All the top teams sort of had someone like that on an edge, whereas we had sort of Mr. Fix at Capewell and an underperforming Nukore. Halasima, though, 31 tackles, topped the count for the Warriors, which is great to see. Denning Kemp put out a little reel wrapping the shit out of him for when he got stung a bit making a tackle and could have been, or he was identified on the next play by the Storm, and he got back in the line and pulled off another tackle. So it's not just a one side of the ball wonder, Halasima. And it's exactly what he needs. So I can see him playing more games than he misses in first grade this year. Otherwise, looking sort of down the reserves list, that second half again was a bit dusty, and nothing too much to write home about. Some nice touches from MGT. Luke Hansen got stuck in. There's some good.
He was involved, wasn't he?
Yeah, a couple of nice little touches and putting players into space. Jet Cleary got another cameo at the end, and it doesn't look out of place. I think what I've enjoyed about Jet Cleary, nothing too awesome that he's pulled off, but he's defended really strongly in both games, and he looks
Yeah.
physically up to it.
Speaking of physical,
watching SG
we
ball,
definitely got the best looking one, didn't we?
Yeah, just not so the exaggerated features aren't quite there. It's just a bit more.
He's a bit more refined. Everything's sort of in the right scale. Nathan looks like he's still growing into everything, but I don't think his head's going to grow much more.
But overall, very enjoyable watching and a heartening last hit out. It reminded me of that Tigers trial a couple of years ago, Andrew Webster's first trial, where we absolutely, dealt to a pretty second string Tigers team. But you can only play who's in front of you, and they did it very well in that first half.
Exactly.
And a bit of momentum for Vegas.
Because God knows what this year actually holds for us. It's so hard to pick. There's a lot of good squads getting around the NRL. Like even you look at the Tigers, they got one of the best spines in the comp all of a sudden. So it's quite nervy. Like I know other teams will be preparing and coming out. So you just don't know where you stand. So that's why I'm going to bookmark that first 30 minutes and just hold on to that. That was some pretty footy to watch, just dominating a team like that.
The Warriors may come to rue that late try they let in against Cronulla for the 12-all draw, because they're actually leading the preseason challenge by a point, and there's every chance that we could have won. Obviously, most teams have another game this weekend, but they've got a handy lead on most teams that won a game on the weekend. So there was every chance that we could have taken it out, which is perhaps a bit
of silverware.
100 grand, 100
Is it
grand back in
100K?
Robbo's pocket. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Sure, Robbo wouldn't have minded.
What would you do if you won
return
100K right now? If you won 100K, what would be that thing you've wanted that you'd purchase right now? What would you do for 100?
If I had to blow it on one transaction.
Oh, one transaction. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Swimming pool out the back for sure.
Oh, shit. That's a good call. I don't know. I can't think. One transaction's different. I'd buy a jet ski straight away, but that's that's a pretty fucking, look like a bit of a dickhead turning up Lake Wanaka in 100 grand jet ski. So, whoa, chill out, big fella. But no, swimming pool sounds good too. Get a quote for it, and I'll see if righto.
You know that you and I probably aren't going to win the preseason challenge from here, so I don't know if
a couple of bonus points,
mate. Great to see. I'm conscious of the time, Brad, so I'm just rattling through some stuff here, but great to see. What about that crowd? 23,000 record for a Warriors trial, and on the back of that announced that 3 standalone NRLW matches will be played there this season. So well done to the people of the Waikato.
Or the Waikato. You see that sign at the field?
Waikato, yeah.
The Waikato. Clever. So 3 NRL women's games there. That's good. Good on them.
Yeah. So most of the games will be sort of double headers, I'm imagining, during the season. But 3 of their home games of, I guess, I don't know how many games they play. It's with the expanded comp. If they play the full 11 rounds, which would be great.
They probably do. Maybe they're playing when we've got buys, or the men's team have buys at the end of the year or something. Yeah, no, interesting.
But so well done. It was great atmosphere. Another big tick in the box for what the Warriors are doing, and great comeback for Hamilton after that diabolical crowd that they dished up for the Pacific Championships final couple of seasons ago. Back in the good books. Brad, before we get into a bit of news, thought you'd better update everyone. I know a few people are wondering how that canopy fiasco.
Thanks for
unfolded.
asking.
Everything on track now?
No, everything's on track now. I went to another outfit who just, although they told you to email them, they don't do anything with the emails after you've emailed them. So I sat and sort of back and forth emailing myself for probably 3 weeks there until I realized that no one was listening to me. But now, signed, sealed, and delivered. By my birthday next weekend, I will have a new canopy to put on the truck. So living the dream down this end of town. Can't wait. Still driving past that other lot on a certain road in Dunedin, trying to spy my arch enemy. Entry number 23 on my fuckers list. But I haven't seen him for a while. I wonder if he got the boot. I might have to go check. I might try and find out where he lives. Just park out in front of his house. All under control. Thanks for asking.
Good to hear. Now, big news, big potential news anyway. The rumour mill, or not so much a rumour, but Tom Hazelton apparently came over the weekend to check out Warriors facilities. He's off contract at the end of 2025. And we've obviously got him in our sights. Could be, and
huge. He's obviously entertaining the thought if he come all the way over to have a sniff around. Geez, he'd be a good get, wouldn't he? I know Fonz will be loving this. He predicted this. He's perked up about this start of last year. I think he mentioned his name, didn't he?
Yep, he's already messaged today saying, give me the timestamp of when he first started spruiking Hazelton as a signing about a year ago. So no one will be happier about Tom Hazelton signing than Fonz. And we talked about it again last week, saying have a crack at him. The Storm actually took the unusual step of releasing a statement saying that they are not chasing Hazelton. And it was rumoured the Knights and those sort of clubs were Dragons.
There'd be all the usual
stuff. Yeah.
Knights, Dragons, Tigers.
and Knights obviously trying to replace the Canberra-bound Leo Thompson for next year. But yeah, Hazelton would be an outstanding pickup. Would just really finish off that middle rotation. Imagine that: Barnett, Fisher Harris, Tom Hazelton, Waimonga, done.
Jesus.
Sorted.
Yeah. Wonder what the chances of getting an early release mid-season would be off the Sharks. Do the decent thing we gave you for Noah Blake. How about you give us a piece, you bastards?
Well, that would be the ultimate,
wouldn't it?
For the Noah Blake thing. You'd feel a lot better about, for Noah Blake being nabbed by the Sharks if we had Hazelton and we'd managed to get Fisher Harris in a surprise coup.
Yeah.
Come out.
Yeah, no, it'd be a great
in the
buy.
end.
It'd be because I wasn't even upset that try that he got against the Warrior. I know it was weak, but that's Hazelton doing Hazelton things close to the line, eh? He does that week in, week out.
He's a try scoring.
Yeah.
Him and Noah Blake are the best try scoring props in the game, even though he looks ungainly still, but he finds his way over. It's amazing.
Taped pill. Yeah, that'll look good.
Yeah. So we'll see how that unfolds. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Yeah.
What would he cost?
What do you? I don't know. I feel like
700.
Pay a premium. Yeah, I'd say 700 or 800.
Plus a bit of New Zealand tax for the fact he's over this side.
As Fons mentioned last week, it's, you're also, unless the club chips in and pays for you to move over your family and everything, but it's a costly exercise.
We know
moving over to New Zealand. So yeah, could get some hookups there.
Yeah. By the name of Kings. Yeah. Sweet. What other news is on the radar? I haven't seen much this week.
I just wanted to mention Ronald Volkman's standout performance with Parramatta in the trial on Friday. Great to see Ronnie V back on the park after an arduous couple of seasons with the shoulder and everyone sort of trying to pass the buck on paying for it before the Warriors did the decent thing and got him fixed up. And I actually didn't even know he was in Parramatta's sights until I saw him pop up there.
I didn't know I didn't know he confirmed his destination. I'd seen there was rumours that Knights were having a sniff and someone else was having a sniff, but I can't remember. He played good too, though, didn't he? He looked sharp out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A couple of lovely try involvements, and great to see. So it could be a genuine, chance at some first grade this season for Parramatta.
Another one that Pete got my mind. I think he played this week, but the kitchen hand. Remember the kitchen hand?
Yes, Cody Ramsey. I meant to tell you, but see if you caught that. Jeez, what story that is. 800 plus days.
896 days out of the game with a bowel disease. That's a tough gig. And he's picked himself back off the canvas and the dish pig's back out on the field. Yeah.
How good's that? And
it is.
A very emotional story is, the poignant moment with his partner and kid on the sidelines afterwards. It was one of the great stories of the early season so far.
Did you see Zach Lomax get dacked on TV?
Yeah.
Down here?
Yeah, man.
Was it full package? I can't work out if it was the whole lot or not.
No,
I think he was bare-assed.
I don't know. Was he? Oh, geez, that'd be I can see why some people are kicking up a stink if they actually got his undies too.
I don't know, because he'd be running I don't know. It seemed a lot of thigh.
Yeah, shit. Oh well, Joel Fahingawe in the Eels could be in a little bit of strife for that one. Now I am ripping through these because I'm watching the time here, Brad. But I've missed this for a couple of weeks, and apologise to our loyal listener Ian Knocker White. He's been hitting me up about West Warriors. It's a club in London, and they use the same logo. They've been charging. Well, they charged through the early rounds of the Challenge Cup. The first couple of rounds is pretty much just your amateur sort of outfits. They beat Eastern Rhinos comfortably, knocked over British Army, and then to earn a fixture in the third round, biggest match in their history, and I'm imagining at Headingley against Leeds Rhinos. Put in a big effort, but beaten 92-0. But I'm sure the West Warriors boys loved that one. So thanks for nudging us about that one, Ian. And
who's in charge of that's
hoping-
Brad Arthur this year leads Rhinos, isn't it? Is Brad Arthur in charge of Leeds Rhinos?
Yeah, it rings
I
bell.
think
Yeah,
that's
you
might have
usually
been
you're our Super League conduit, Brad.
West Warriors.
Yeah. Small time outfit, only 2,500 followers on Facebook. Probably gives you an idea of how amateur
They're up against it. Yeah.
they are. So yeah, good on them. What a highlight getting to play a full professional outfit. Speaking of Super League, what about the season opener? Lee Leopards, Wigan Warriors, 0-0 at half time. I mean at full time, and Lee getting the field goal in Golden Point. Amazing.
God, it sounds like a horrible game to watch.
But it's one of those ones that is such a it's such a bizarre kind of contest. You're like, by the end, you're like, hopefully no one scores. This is incredible.
yeah. Lee Leopards too. Well, that'd be pretty half-assed. They're not usually that great, are they?
Yeah, they're one of the more recent additions to Super League. There's your usual cavalcade of expats in there.
Yeah.
It's given me the opportunity, though, Brad, to do a bit of stats digging in, because this isn't Warriors related, but it is one of my favourite all-time stats anomalies. So there's only been one game that finished to finish in a 0-0 draw. It was Newtown and Canterbury in 1982. Very famous game for history rugby league history types. Newtown also won the only 1-0 game against St George in 1973. The kicker of the field goal for that one was Ken Wilson. Newtown Blue Bags, great. But this is where it gets really interesting for me, Brad. Newtown also won the first of only 3 2-0 games in Premiership history, and Newtown also won the first of only 6 3-0 games in Premiership history.
Jesus, Newtown.
Try
to find some try scorers. They're not having any wingers or anything.
Hey, but they can keep a clean sheet in those games. And just throwing this into the bargain, Brad, there's been about 16 games that finished 4-0 or only had 4 points in them. Newtown finishing, well, actually, it's quite incredible. They were part of only a handful of the 2-2 draws in Premiership history as well. So Newtown love a low score.
Yeah, they do. They'll grind it out.
If you're wondering, the lowest scoring Warriors Premiership game, a 4-2 loss to Melbourne in 2007, was actually against a Origin depleted Storm outfit at Mount Smart Stadium, although we're missing Steve Price on Origin duty. Jeremy Smith, the sole try scorer for Melbourne, and our only points coming from a Tony Martin penalty goal.
Was there a try in late in the game, second half too? Was it? Were we leading 2-0 for a long time? I remember watching it. I just can't remember.
Shocking conditions, I think, at Mount Smart from memory. The next lowest scoring game was an 8-2 loss to Brisbane in 2019. That was an ugly game, also at Mount Smart. The lowest scoring game that the Warriors won, a 13-0 win over Newcastle at Mount Smart in 2009. So there you go.
There you go. What was I going to say about that? I can't think now. No, she gone. She gone.
What else have I got, Brad, before I let you go? I'm sure there was something else.
I can squeeze out about another 7 minutes, I reckon.
Oh, yes, wait. Greymouth Greyhounds, closer to home. Greymouth Greyhounds, they made their Canterbury Rugby League men's premiership debut last season. Very competitive, a great story. They have expanded, and they're going to also have a team in the Canterbury Cup, the reserve grade competition in Canterbury. So 2 full teams come from the coast. What a comeback story for West Coast Rugby League.
I know. That's great news, and it was such good news to me. Will, remember this a week ago when I found this out. When I found this out, listeners, I was so pumped that I sort of scanned the article. I was like, shit, this is good. Will needs to know about this. So I quickly took a screenshot, sent it to Will, and Will's reply was, yes, I know, I wrote the article. So I thought I had a scoop, but Will was the one that actually put pen to paper. So he was well abreast of it by the time I got to him, but abreast, I got it.
Yeah, you're nailing it, Brad.
Word
of the day.
So yeah, I thought I was winning, but yet again, Brad's dismal knowledge of anything slapped me in the face again.
I guess looking ahead, Brad, there may be an episode in between. We've got some pending guests, but not quite sure when we'll be able to lock them in, whether it'll be in between now or our first Teamless Tuesday live episode. And it'll be for the Vegas match. So, yeah, Tuesday the 25th will be
How
coming
are you
at you
feeling
live.
about this Vegas setup? Is it feeling like a little bit of ball ache to you now? Would you rather just start at Mount Smart instead of all this hoopla and Americanization and bloody? Are we going to have Kendrick Lamar and I don't know? It's just I'd like to just get it underway without them being involved. To be honest, is the way I'm feeling about it.
Yeah, I get it's. I can see where you're coming from, but I am excited that we're going to open the season. Be a bit of a rarity. But I can, I'm sure they're excited, but I can, see it being a potential disruption. They'll be taking steps to minimise the disruption to their season.
How does it play out time-wise? Do you remember that from last year, what time we were watching these games over here?
Yeah, well, I can tell you, Brad, because I have the Warriors Vegas schedule.
Attaboy. Thanks, man.
And I'm going to give it to you. So they'll be leaving... they'll be arriving in Vegas. Do you want me to give you the New Zealand times?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
So they'll arrive this coming Sunday around 11:30 on Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Then the Monday over there, so Tuesday our time, they've got a field session on Tuesday American time, Wednesday New Zealand time.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rest day, then a field session on the Thursday Vegas time, Friday New Zealand time.
Yeah.
Bit of a signing session by the looks of things. They'll be at the fan event that night, so a busy day on the Thursday/Friday. And another field session on Friday Vegas time, Saturday New Zealand time. They'll have a look around Allegiant Stadium, and then Saturday Vegas time. Sunday our time, which is a 1 p.m. kickoff on Sky. It'd be 11 a.m. for Fonz and our friends, or 10 a.m. for our Queensland friends.
Shit,
that's a bit early.
That's early to start drinking. Oh well,
say.
Needs must.
You'll be in bed by 3 p.m.
But doughy-eyed.
Yeah. So it is it feels like a hectic schedule, but I guess they'll just try and
that first day, so if the Warriors are on at 1 o'clock, is there 1 or 2 more games still to play that day, to play out as well?
Yeah,
on the same day?
Because there's the Women's International between Australia and Great Britain, and then there's a Super League game. I forget who's in that, but I think the Warriors game may be the second one, and then the Cronulla Penrith game will be the last game of the 4. So yeah,
sweet. Cronulla Penrith. Oh, that's going to be a banger. That Cronulla team is psycho.
Yeah. Fonzie's spruiking them for the top 4, and geez, Fanua Blake, that was kicking the guts watching that solo try. I'm happy for him, but Cronulla, one of the contenders by the looks of things. Should be a good day. Looking forward to 1 o'clock start. I can definitely get on board with. Reminds me of the days living in Aussie, and the 3 triple header on a Sunday would start super early. Usually Warriors getting that first game. I used to like that. So
hopefully it's raining
embrace
here.
Embrace it.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I just wonder for the players and all that. It's a hell of a. It's going to soak up a bit of time and energy getting over there and back, and then getting into the season proper here. But I'm gonna have to hope it's raining. Or I think I have to smash out the lawns before 1 o'clock.
Yeah, sure.
Sunday's my lawn day.
They have the bye the week after that, and then first home game on the 14th of March, Friday night against Manly. So
by the week after. All right. Shit. And then we're into it, aren't we? We're full noise
Yeah.
into it. We're punching these suckers out every Tuesday. Another one popping out end of the week every now and then sporadically with special guests. There's a bit on this year, isn't there, Will?
Yeah, it's all go. Well, we've started at a fairly hectic pace, Brad. So we'll this one, just giving you and Fonz their some good rest time, not overdoing it in the preseason. But yeah, I expect you guys to hit the ground running once we're all go.
Right, take it on board, sir. We're into it.
That'll just you got to do some school pickups and so forth, Brad. So I'll let you get going. But thanks for joining me on this Monday.
No worries. Awesome. You look after yourself. Cheers to everyone listening, and we'll be seeing more of yous over the next 26, hopefully 30 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, especially to our Patreon subscribers and King's Container Crew, the TAB. Again, follow us on all the socials and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spotify, and the rest. Until next time, look after yourselves and each other.
Jump in and put some comments.